Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Saturday, February 11, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines this evening, CANJE man hospitalized after being shot during robbery. Parika market fire caused by welding sparks, says Guyana Fire Service. Bugbears in sourcing capital for oil sector challenging companies, says President Ali. Claims and objectives start on Monday as GECOM begins preparation of registers for LGE, and 150 Lindeners to be employed by steel plant, ALUMINA refractory plant. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that a 40-year-old man has been shot and injured after he confronted armed bandits who invaded a Cumberland village, East CANJE Berbice home on Friday night. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael has the details.
The injured man has been identified as Jagdio Phillips, called Zachariah, a farmer of Lot 201 Victoria Street, Cumberland. Today is his 40th birthday. According to the police, Phillips was at Lot 192 Victoria Street, a residence of a 68-year-old businesswoman who operates a shop from her home. At about 9:50, Phillips was in a hammock in the yard while the businesswoman and her granddaughter were in their shop when one of the four bandits entered and held the teenager at gunpoint. He demanded cash and jewelry. While they were inside, a loud explosion, suspected to be a gunshot, was heard outside. The injured man's teenage son, Lekrad Sudish, recalled that he was bathing when he heard screams and decided to investigate.
When I rushed in the kitchen there, sir, it was a man. It was two men. There was two men. One of them pointing the gun towards me, and one pointed the gun towards my sister. And he asked me what I would do. Meanwhile, two of them went outside there before them was fighting. I think the gun there was plastic gun, but when I heard the first shot fire, that was real gun. So I've been pick up a fire, but after the first shot fire, I dropped down the fire. And I said they had the money, and so I tell them they want to see the money, they collect what you all want.
The Evening News understands that Phillips was confronted by another bandit who was outside, during which he was shot. Despite being injured, he gave chase after the suspects, but collapsed on the road, where relatives subsequently found him with a gunshot wound to his chest. The injured man was then rushed to the New Amsterdam hospital, where he is currently being treated. His condition is listed as serious but stable. The teenager explained that the bandit escaped with both cash and jewelry.
Before they had some big chain, gold chain, and a big gold band he buy for 200,000, and one I don't know how much price for the silver band he buy. He had about, I think, 2 ounces of silver. And he had about 200,000 in his wallet and change. He said he's going to do a board. And the shop, the money we sell from 6 to 9:30, it is now really keeping the top. I know approximately so much money, but I'm collect all and roll out.
Police reportedly responded within 4 minutes. All 4 bandits are said to have been armed with guns and were masked.
And plus I had a hoodie, only I alone you can see. And he looked like he had a man, or I don't know if it's a woman, but they had a skirt and so.
The bandit?
Yeah, they had a skirt and they come in.
For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
We now tell you that initial investigations into the massive fire that destroyed the Parika Marketing Center on Friday afternoon have found that the blaze was caused by welding sparks during construction works at the facility. Rupa Sinarayan joins us with more.
In a statement, the Guyana Fire Service said preliminary investigations have revealed that construction workers who were in the process of rebuilding the market were conducting welding works when sparks came into contact with nearby combustible materials, which ignited. At about 15:14 on Friday, the fire department was alerted to the inferno at the Parika market, and 5 water tenders, 1 water bowser, and 2 support vehicles were immediately dispatched to the location. Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben engaged with the affected persons at the scene.
Whatever happened, I don't believe that anybody intended that there would be a fire. The fire trucks came from all the way from Eccles, I think some from Georgia, along with the 2 or 3 on the coast. Usually, the situation is, in respect of a fire tender carries 450 to 600 gallons of water. When they come and they use that, they have to go to an open source or to a fire hydrant.
The building and its contents were severely damaged by the time the fire was extinguished. Meanwhile, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, stated that over 160 vendors plied their trade at the facility.
This fire is a devastating fire. I've seen the tears in a lot of people's eyes as they're hustling to save what they could save. Some people didn't save none. But the process is how we deal with these kind of, unfortunate events. We started it, which is where we're going to take down everybody's names, see what the claims are, what they lost. Does anybody have insurance in the market? Nobody have insurance in the market. No.
Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
The bugbears faced by companies investing in the oil and gas sector would create a negative effect in the rollout of the industry, but President Dr. Irfan Ali has stated that understanding the complex nature of these operations is critical. Here is Rupa Sinarayan once again with the details.
The Guyanese head of state on Friday referred to changing times of global financing for the oil and gas sector and even companies perceived to be linked to the industry. It comes at a time when Guyana is aggressively pushing to develop and cement the sector through better infrastructure and the injection of other resources.
The reality is there is less available capital. The cost of capital is more expensive. There is the great debate on the length of the shelf life for oil companies that affect capital formation. And all of this is occurring at a time when we want to aggressively pursue this natural asset. We are out on auction now. Everybody has an opportunity. If you know there is a company that will give 100% royalty, or 70% royalty, or 10% or 20%, get the company and come. Put in an auction.
President Ali also sought to zero in on the production sharing agreement that was signed with ExxonMobil under the former APNU AFC government in 2016, which has been criticized for low royalty among other issues. However, Ali pointed out that disavowing such an agreement meant serious consequences for the country, especially as it related to investors' confidence in Guyana.
Look around us, our neighbors, about agreements that were not honored, and see the consequences. If you're brilliant at research, brilliant at looking for facts, don't go too far. Look around the region. Do you understand the concept of capital flight or investment flight or the loss of national credibility? This is not a humorous matter. This is a serious matter. This is not about capturing a headline or capturing hearts. This is about the life of a country.
Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Coming up on the other side of the break, claims and objections start on Monday as GECOM begins preparation of registers for LGE. Please stay tuned.
Place your bets during the matches and win up to $3 million per coupon with live betting. Check out all the different matches and bet types at www.superbet.gy. Superbet, your best bet. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. The Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, will start preparing the register of voters and will be opening the claims and objections exercise next week, ahead of the local government elections later this year. Here is Gerald Bryan with the details.
In a statement on Saturday, GECOM announced that claims and objections will open on Monday, February the 13th, and last until February the 22nd. During this period, persons can object to a voter who is in the same constituency list as them. When making an objection, the relevant documents, including an original death certificate, must be presented. Additionally, GECOM will begin preparing the register of voters from which the official list of electors will be drawn. Anyone eligible to be registered as a voter and not on the preliminary list of voters can make a claim to entry on or before February the 19th. It was only a few days ago that GECOM wrote to Minister of Local Government Nigel Dharamlal requesting that he set May the 22nd, 2023 as the date for local government elections. Section 35(1) of the Local Authorities Act empowers the local government minister to appoint a day for the elections. Last October, LGE was set for March the 13th of this year, but GECOM later deferred it to continue its registration exercise. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Minister Hugh Todd recently visited the construction site of a steel plant and alumina refractory plant at Bamia on the Linden-Soestdijk Highway. The integrated steel plant project is currently at phase 1 of its construction and is expected to recycle scrap steel to provide quality, eco-friendly, and cost-effective steel products in Guyana. Upon the completion of construction in phase 1 of the project, it is anticipated that the plant would employ approximately 150 Lindeners. Minister Todd inspected the ongoing works during his 2-day outreach to Linden, Region 10 this weekend. The minister was accompanied by Dr. Peter Ramsaroop, Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Office for Investment, GoInvest, which is spearheading this initiative to push investment opportunities in Region 10. The officials engaged local representatives on business and investment opportunities there. A quarantine farmer has driven his tractor through the cultivated plots of another farmer, in the process damaging watermelon and eggplant crops. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that the affected farmer is claiming damages in excess of $500,000.
30-year-old Rakesh Takurdial of Alnis Village, Quarantine, Region 6, who farms a 6-acre plot of land which belongs to the NDC, has been cultivating cash crops for the past 2 years. On Thursday, he says a rice farmer who has his cultivation adjacent to his farm drove his tractor through his farm and in the process damaged some of his crop. Takurdial says he was verbally abused by the rice farmer.
I planted watermelon here, I planted baigan, sweet pepper, wheat pepper, and I planted it over 2 years. And after the 2 years now, the rice farmer then come now and drive in the garden with the watermelon and start busting them up. And tell me said that they look after me, said that they look for me to tell them they want to come in the garden to drive. Which is they could tell me say they come in, I could just pull the watermelon and if the mash 1, 2, not a problem, I can part them, let drive. I just come in just when I come yesterday, I asked he started to cost up me.
According to the father of 3, he makes a living from his crops. He said following Thursday's incident, he reported the matter to the police, who subsequently engaged the rice farmer. However, again on Friday, the farmer drove his tractor through the farm. This time it was done in the presence of a police officer who had gone there to appraise his damages. That officer was also verbally abused.
Because of the constable and because of me. So the constable wait for me to go back at the station. He go back and tell the police to go and take him.
Tell me what was damaged for you.
The damage is my watermelon damage and the baigan.
How much watermelon, how much in value?
The value of the watermelon $400,000 and the baigan is $100,000. And the baigan plant I collect for the nari. And the nari request me to collect the plant and I planted it. Now we get for bearing and get flower while I get baigan and they damage it. Look the baigan and the watermelon damage everything. Can get nothing move after the watermelon. And I have 3 children, 2 go to school and 1 get 1 here. And this is what I do for a living, at working with rice farm and planting the garden.
Someone looking at the bygone plant there, they're going to say that can't worth $100,000. Explain how it's worth $100,000.
Well, okay, I'm going to work around $1,000 because the bearing we're going to give me like $17,000 from bag bygone now. And average like about 6 months to 7 months bearing the bygone to give me. That is the value of the bygone.
The eggplants were planted 6 weeks ago, and according to Takurdial, his expenses include fertilizer, pesticides and gas to pump water to water his crop.
The watermelon, same thing. I throw in manure, spray them, spray grass, kill off grass and take them, then I have to water them. Because the rain falling once and fire. Till the watermelon reach this stage, I know them bust up, damage everything. So I couldn't get anything move back from the farm right now.
The farmer is seeking the intervention of officials from the Agriculture Ministry, even as law enforcement is looking into the matter. Andrew Carmichael, the Evening News.
We'll now take a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Sunday, February 12, 2023 at 9 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 7 hours 55 on Sunday, February 12, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
And now the local stock exchange market compliments of Gassi. West Indies women lose first game in 2023 World Cup. This and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
Yeah, ready? We are short so far.
Look along, me tell you, buy one generator. Now the picnic online test and blackout come and cut off everything.
Sorry, son. Radhika, Abby go tomorrow.
Abby go now.
At Sylvie's, we stock products from more than 22 different sectors in mining, construction, food processing, vulcanizing, home improvements, and more.
Are you getting generator?
So this is a 3000 better side generator. This will work your lights, your fan, your TV, and your fridge.
Well, Abby can buy one for Abby and
Yes.
Abby can buy one for Mommy too.
Yeah, and mommy can even key start it, cause all you have to do is hook up the battery and
Visit us today at 31 High in Hatfield Street, where our friendly and knowledgeable team members are willing to assist you. You can also call us on 227-6243 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 and shop via our website at www.sylviesonline.com.
Abby go buy one Dalpuri mill,
one plucking machine, one pressure washing machine, one juice dispenser, one engine, one pepper grinding machine, one water pump, one sugar cane juicer, circle sir. We gotta get alright then food warmer. We gotta get. What are you looking at?
Looking to bring your dream home to reality, or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Welcome back to this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp. For the very first time in the history of the Guyana Tennis Association, players and coaches were rewarded handsomely with cash prizes as the GTA hosted their 2022 awards ceremony on Friday night, during which the development of the sport was also addressed. Let's have a look. Following in the footsteps of the Guyana